Initiatives aimed at preventing chronic diseases and promoting healthier living is making waves in the community. Simply Nutrition, a program funded by Healthy Together Now and ArtsForward, has been running since September of last year. The program, led by Amanda Roels, offers information sessions focused on healthy lifestyle choices and healthier alternatives. The goal is to raise awareness about the importance of prevention in light of the growing healthcare crisis. Chronic diseases which place a strain on the healthcare system are often preventable with better lifestyle choices. In a fast paced world where convenience often leads people to make unhealthy decisions, Simply Nutrition helps residents of Nipowa find practical and accessible ways to improve their health. The program emphasizes the importance of taking small steps to prioritize nutrition and well being, even amidst busy schedules. As Simply Nutrition continues to grow, it is creating a ripple effect in the community, encouraging individuals to take control of their health before chronic diseases take hold. This program is a testament to the power of community driven initiatives that combine regional coordination with government support. For more information on upcoming sessions, residents are encouraged to reach out to Simple Nutrition or Arts Forward and get involved in the important health initiative. We are here with Amanda Roels at Arts Forward for their Simply Nutrition program.
I'm a holistic nutritionist, and I do belong to an association, a CANNP, and so through them, I am a natural nutrition clinical practitioner, and I own my own business. So I give health talks and work with people one-on-one for nutrition counseling. So.
Oh, yeah. So can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, I've been meeting with this group of ladies and men for the last few months now. We started in September, and we're just kind of going through different ideas about nutrition and learning about whether it be protein or today was detoxing, and we've done a few different topics on different things and just kind of diving into nutrition, how it looks, and ideally snacks to go with that theme. So today we did a detox smoothie. And I think the group liked it. It's got some different things in there, some unique ingredients that they haven't tried, and I definitely tried to bring things with me and ideas of things that people might have not tried before and it would be new to them, and just give them a new experience and maybe make them comfortable with going out and buying new foods and trying new things.
Okay, so it's open to the public.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it free or?
It's a $5 charge, and that includes coffee, tea, and a snack, whatever the nutrition snack is of the day. And then everybody gets information to take home with them about the class, so they have a few
some information.
few reminders
too.
of the things to try. Yeah.
And so far, how has it been? Like, who are there many people who are attending so far? Yeah.
It started off with a smaller group, and it's kind of growing. And today we had our biggest numbers yet. I think we were over 20 people.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I think the main group that started has been coming every time, and then we've kind of just been accumulating new members along the way.
Okay, that's good. Anything else that you want to add for this, or?
No, I guess just that we're running once a month.
Yeah.
Tuesdays at Arts Forward in the morning, and anybody's welcome to join. And we also requests are welcome. If there's anything particular that people want to learn about, I just encourage them to let me know, and we can always make a whole session around that and dive into it.
Okay, so who do they contact? Do they contact?
They can contact
Arts Forward
direct. Yvonne at Arts Forward, yeah.
Okay.
And to sign up, and yeah, we would love to see you.
Okay, thank you, Amanda.
Thanks. All the things I'm going to go over today. So, phytonutrients can be divided in different ways. They are what give plants their smell, their color, their taste. They influence kind of how the plant looks. They also affect our bodies in different ways. One of the ways that they act is as an antioxidant. So we're going to also talk a little bit about antioxidants in the body today. While there are no daily recommendations, which I've mentioned, I believe someday there will be.
Some of these nutrients are more bioavailable to the body, so the body's able to really absorb them well. Some are a little bit more locked away, so that if you eat something like a healthy fat, so we poured a little bit of oil on the kale, that'll make some of those vitamins more available to our bodies. And especially if you're having a healthy fat like an avocado oil on there, you don't have to worry so much. Good fats are really helpful at getting rid of bad fat in the body. So those kind of things, as long as within moderation, and you know, we talked about the 2 thumb size kind of per meal. That's a great ratio. Helps you get the nutrients, but it's not too much for your body, and it's actually better for absorption of some of these vitamins. So we absorb these nutrients. Most of the benefits, excuse me, come from their ability to protect and bring our gut into balance. And this can result in helping balance our hormones, our metabolic health. Okay, so one thing about these phytonutrients is a plant's job is to have a defense mechanism against bugs and pollutants and things like that. So when a plant needs to protect itself from the environment, in even like the sun, bug bites, phytonutrients act as a defense mechanism for the plant. This gives it the ability to protect itself, and in turn, when we eat the plants, then we get those protective benefits as well. So we want the plant to be defending itself so that we can get those defense mechanisms for us. When we buy food that is genetically modified to resist bug bites, then the plant will not produce as much phytonutrients. So we just don't get as much of a high return on our investment. I still encourage buying them. I still buy them, but just to know that if you wanted to get the absolute most organic, or this is where you take advantage of your own home garden, where you're not, putting all the pesticides on there, and it's going to get a little bit of natural bug bites, and it's going to produce more phytonutrients for you, and they're going to be fresher, and you're going to get the best advantage out of those foods for you. And same like farmers markets, right? You get a lot of those extra fresh benefits from those things. Fruits tend to have larger, poorly absorbed phytonutrients, but good for the gut. Vegetables tend to be smaller and absorb better and are more active inside our bodies, like inside, not counting the intestinal tract. So I'll go over a couple of my favorites first, and then we'll explain the rest of the sheets. So the first one I have isolated. There's quite a few phytonutrients, and scientists are still finding more, and there's some that are really well studied and some that are not as well studied. I'll show you my quick sheet, because if you were to look at phytonutrients, they kind of fall under different categories. Some are more connected to make how the plant smells, some are more to how the plant looks and color, and then they divide into different groups having different benefits. So I just picked my 4 favorites because there's so many to go through, and some are more well studied as well. So the first one, quercetin. You may have heard that word before. You can actually buy it as a supplement. I always feel it's going to work better as a whole food in the body versus a supplement, but sometimes periodically supplements can be helpful for short-term things. It's best known as a supplement for like allergies and things like that. Seasonal allergies tends to be like an antihistamine, but you can find them in things like apples. So many foods have quercetin in them. We're going to try jicama today, has quercetin in it. It's one of the most studied phytonutrients. It works as an antioxidant, anti-carcinogenic, anti-inflammatory, antiviral activities. Found the highest doses in red, green, and purple foods like apples, which I'm going to say like the skin is going to have more higher doses there. You can make them fairly easily in about 3 to 5 days. And this laurophane, they're saying, is highest, I think, on day 2 or 3, but I usually wait till day 5, just so there's more to it to eat. And they can be put on anything, salads and soups and sandwiches and pretty much anything you're going to have. The second highest source after broccoli would be kohlrabi, and cauliflower as third. So this is the interesting part with these foods. They don't officially contain laurophane to start with, but they contain our enzyme and, let's see, glucosinate. And basically what happens is they're isolated in the plant in separate little pods. And it's another defense mechanism, so that it's meant that when an animal or person bites into this, they get that, oh, that tastes gross, I don't want to eat this plant defense mechanism, because those two things mix when it's bit and create laurophane. And that's where you get like, oh, broccoli is the worst tasting thing ever. But the plants didn't realize we were going to have all these fun seasonings to add and lemon to to add, and salt and pepper, and all of a sudden, those flavors become really yummy, and they're really good for you. And so, if you're chewing raw broccoli, you're going to create that cellophane. If you're cooking it right away, it doesn't have a chance to make as much. It might make a little bit, but not as much. So Dr. Greger has invented, well, coined the phrase, the hack and hold method, and that is to chop the broccoli up, or kale, or what you're going to have, and let it sit for 40 minutes. You could do this the night before, because you might not just have that time at that day to sit and wait for 40 minutes for the stuff, for the cellophane to make it up. But if you wait that 40 minutes, it will make it, and then you can cook it, and it won't be destroyed by cooking. So the other option is, let's say you don't have time, you've chopped up the broccoli, you've cooked it right away, it didn't really have time to make cellophane, only the enzyme is destroyed, and you can actually get that from things like mustard powder. So if you like to cook with mustard powder and you add that after it's cooked, it will then have time to make cellophane and still give you those really great benefits. So you'll see this sheet with your stuff, and this is just really meant to inspire you to figure out, I'd circle everything you already know you like and you already eat, and then I would just try to find something on there that you don't eat a lot of and try to add to your diet. If you don't have a lot of flax seeds and almonds, maybe that could be something that could come into your diet. I definitely don't have every vegetable, plant food out there, but I got the majority of the ones I could come up with here. And I feel free to add to it. If you know you eat something in the red category that I haven't listed there, write it in there. And then I encourage you to really go for more and more choices and have fun with the variety and getting all these phytonutrients from everything, because they just play such an important role. And the plant always works better as a whole plant versus a supplement, because it's using all the nutrients together. And they help each other out, like I said, with the bromine from the pineapple, working with the apple, getting even more nutrients because they're together. So mixing and having the variety, so good for your gut health. So,
okay guys, well, it's good to see you. Some of you hadn't seen since before Christmas, so I'm excited to see you guys today and do some fun cooking. Well, making smoothies today. So today's talk is all about detox, and we're just going to talk a little bit about how your bodies are already detoxing. So congratulations, you're already all doing it. But we're going to talk about ways to support the body and how it already is doing it, and how you can support those ways, and then also bringing in nutrition and some of those superfoods that really help boost. Come on in, no worries. We're just getting started. I will hand you out papers after. I just like to kind of go over it first, and then I'll give you guys a copy as well to take with you. So our bodies are always detoxing through 4 main systems and a 5th system for women. The main detoxing organ in your body is the liver, which I'm sure you've heard before. And its job is converting toxins into waste products to be taken out of the body safely. A lot of things that when we look at nutrition, though, we can really boost the liver's ability to do that. And so that's kind of what we're doing. The foods themselves help, but our liver still has to process, and we're just basically supporting the liver and supporting the body's all natural functions. New food to you, they might be much higher in fiber than some other foods, and so if you're introducing too much of that, your body will feel it, and you can feel unwell, especially if you went from really not a lot of detoxers in your diet to a whole bunch of things that are going to boost detoxing. Just having those extra toxins go around, and that's going to make you feel unwell. So you want to do it slow, you want to get them out properly. Slow and steady is definitely better, and if you're feeling unwell, you're just going to back off and take it easy. And of course, always talk to your doctor before adding in detoxing supplements to make sure nothing's going to interact with medications or be a contraindication to any diagnosis you might have. And then at the bottom here, we've got just a quick list of the things to remember that can help your body detox. We've got our water, 6 to 8 cups a day, depending on how hot it is outside. If you're sweating or exercising, of course, changes that. Sleeping, getting enough sleep within 7 to 9 hours is ideal. I do have fasting on here, and that's not meant to be days ever. I don't promote that. I do know there are fasting diets and things out there. I believe in more of an hour fasting, and that being where you don't eat after supper. Let's say you had supper at 6 and then you don't eat again until the next day, from 12 hours to 14 hours later, where you've given your digestive tract a nice rest, and that gives the body the ability to work on other things like detoxing for a bit, and just the resting part is important so it's not feeling overworked, and then it can work better when it is working. Of course, exercise, 150 minutes a week is the general recommendation to just be moving, and that moves your lymphatic system, which we were talking about, and that's another way to get stuff out of your body. The lymphatic system, just a quick note, is kind of, if you picture like a little blanket over your whole body. It does work similarly to the way that the blood pumps through our veins. Our heart pumps the blood goes through and helps clean and deliver nutrients. The lymphatic system is similar, but does not work off the heart pump. It works off your muscles moving, and that's what pumps the lymphatic fluid around. So just going for a walk is amazing for your lymphatic system, helps get some of those toxins out that way. And then minimizing exposure, of course, to toxins when possible, which part of that would be the next one as well, avoiding processed foods. So the more you do avoid processed foods, the more you're not even taking stuff in that needs to be cleaned out anyways. And minimizing exposure would be just like don't microwave plastic would be ideal, because that's one way that's going to loosen those plastic bits that they're more likely to get into your food and into you. And then eating foods high in antioxidants, and that is the dark leafy greens and the berries and spices especially. Spices and herbs are kind of underrated sometimes, and they're loaded with nutrients and really highly dense. We just don't use too much of them, but thinking about adding all that stuff to your food and just a little bit of extra spice or a little bit of extra just pepper even, like, and there's things that combine that have even kind of more of a superpower when you add them together, like pepper and turmeric. Pepper seems to really trigger turmeric to have even more anti-inflammatory effects, things like that. So today's smoothie we're gonna try is a heavy metal detox smoothie. I'm gonna make the first one a little. We'll kind of tweak the ingredients as we go here, but where I got the recipe from, I did bring the book with me. Most of the people I follow, most of the people that I recommend, they're science-backed, science-based. But I also will research other people that have information to share. This is one of them. He's not a science-based guy, I just want to give you that disclaimer. But I, through my own research and my own schooling, know the ingredients, know that they are all detoxing, and I've tried it myself before, have noticed a difference, and so I did want to share it with you because it is a really good recipe. But I just also wanted you to know that his background's not science-based. But it's quite some interesting things that we have. I'll let you know what we're putting in there today. We have bananas, which for sweetness and flavor, and we have frozen wild blueberries, cilantro, which I will gladly do one without cilantro if we have some people that are just, I get that, so cilantro, you love it or you hate it. Barley grass juice powder, spirulina, Atlantic dulse, like a seaweed, orange juice, and then water or coconut water can be added just to top it up. It does get quite thick with some of those ingredients, so I'm going to use not as much, not the full dose, because I do want to make sure we don't have soup or like a jello when we're done. And then we'll talk a little bit about some of those ingredients. So I think what I'll do is I'll make the smoothie. We can try that out, and I'll kind of talk about some of the ingredients and what they're good for while we're tasting. Okay? I'm going to show you some of the smoothies look like. You can buy all these really unique things at Herbs for Health, but I will tell you she was having trouble getting in this one. So this one might be a Brandon only or online only. And I would also recommend if you were going to take this on and you decided you wanted to start making this at home, like it's not required to have every ingredient, and it's expensive to have every ingredient. So I would go with all the main ones like bananas, orange juice, blueberries, those types of things first, and maybe pick one or two of the more expensive things. But there's a little bit natural, but it's the only thing in there. Wild Atlantic sea vegetables. You will find something similar to this. It's not the Atlantic Ocean, it's the other side, the other ocean. A very similar product, but it's not supposed to be as clean. But yeah, you can feel free to come take pictures. Like I said, Herbs for Health does carry this one, the spirulina, the barley grass juice powder, and the seaweed. Although she was having trouble finding the seaweed. But if you and a few friends both want to make this, I would suggest sharing it because again, you don't need very much and it is pricey. So, anybody think they were going to tackle anything like this? Try it when I get home. Yeah? Yeah.
This tastes okay.
Yeah.
I have the one with the.
Yeah. It should have,
Cilantro.
it did. I didn't put very much in, but
Oh,
yes.
no, I like cilantro.
Yeah, so you could definitely do more. It says 1 packed cup, and I think I need a half of a loose cup, just to not overpower it today. But, and because some people, it is quite a strong no to that kind of flavor. So very good for your bones as well. Lots of calcium in here. And it's also supposed to be very good for eyesight as well because of the vitamin A in it. And then we also had cilantro. Cilantro's issue, as far as if you were going to take the full cup and put it in there, is it can slow blood clotting. So that depends again on medications you might be on. So just be aware of that and use less, or talk to your doctor. If you're going to use a whole packed cup and you're going to drink that whole smoothie, that's a lot, right? So that's where you want to be chatting with the doctor if there's any concerns that way. But cilantro is a very, very well-known heavy metal detoxer. Protecting against oxidative stress, reduces anxiety, helps blood sugar levels, supports heart health, can help prevent urinary tract infections, help with digestive upset, can be helpful with food poisoning, which is an interesting one. That's something new that I came across as I was looking it up. Supports healthy menstruation, prevents neurological inflammation, may help against colon cancer, and can be used externally for skin irritation, which is another new one that I've come across. I always learn new things when I am, refreshing my memory on these classes. And sometimes just science has come up with new things that they've learned about products too, which is just fun to learn. And then our wild blueberries. They have phytochemicals, so that the tiny little nutrients in there that help regulate our body's detoxing system. So that is one of their specialty attributes to our smoothie mix. And they also boost autophagy, which I know we had talked about in some other classes. I'm not sure who was here for those classes, but autophagy is your body's kind of anti-aging ability to clean house. We're continually making proteins for a million different things in the body, and many times, through the millions of times that our body does that, our body makes mistakes. And when our body makes a mistake on a protein, it kind of sets it over to the side. We don't need that right now. We'll clean it up later. And many years ago, when we used to go through different levels of kind of almost starvation, and then we'd have food, when our body went into starvation mode, that's when it would take that protein, break it back down, and reuse it. And that was a really handy thing to do, because then we had this extra protein kind of to help last us through the times of famine. Now that we don't really have those times, our body can build up all that stuff, and we want to promote autophagy, which is where the body will go in and clean those cells up. And the wild blueberries help do that. So that's just another way to get stuff out of the body, because we don't want that buildup of all these proteins that aren't correct lying around. So yeah, and that is pretty much everything for today. Any questions?